somebody said, Kandi said that I said it, took shit back. I said, no. Her husband did what he did to me, both of them actually, and she can't sing. I said that.
I don't believe that she's still on you.
I'm not playing games with clowns. Like, I'm not gonna be in the circus with you, sweetheart. Like, we're not doing it ever again.
Love that.
When, oh when, will Tamar Braxton realize that talent can only take you so far without a pleasant attitude to back it up? We all know Tamar has been obsessed with Kandi Burruss for as long as we can remember. She has dragged Kandi into drama even when nothing's been said about her. Tamar has always implied that there's more surrounding her beef with Kandi than we all know of. But if what Jessie Woo's saying is true, Tamar's issues with Kandi has been over a pile of nothing but jealousy. Tamar is green with envy about the money moves Kandi's been making, and she's determined to make as much of a mess out of it as she can for Kandi. But there are reports that Kandi is really done playing nice with Tamar. Her recent interview spoke volumes, and she's saying the reason why Tamar has been talking so much about her is due to insecurity, and she has stayed trying to ruin Kandi's career ever since Celebrity Big Brother ended.
I love Tamar, but since we've known her, she's been in constant beef with somebody, whether it be her own sisters or her peers in the industry.
And child, when you see how different their careers have grown, it's not hard to see why Kandi believes that Tamar is jealous and bitter about her success. Doesn't it just feel like Tamar Braxton is always beefing with someone over something? It's exhausting. It's Tamar beefing with this one. It's Tamar arguing with that one. And now she can't keep Kandi out of her mouth. If I had Tamar's voice, I'd be doing way more singing than talking, because it ain't no reason why she should be all up in this much drama. And for real, everybody ain't lying on Tamar. And if she's always the common denominator in these beefs, then maybe she's really the problem. Now, Kandi and Tamar's issues didn't just start today, and it sure doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. The first time we heard of anything going down between these two was when they were on Celebrity Big Brother. Tamar was going on and on about how Kandi just didn't like her for no reason and was always shady towards her backstage when they were on the Escape tour, but Kandi didn't see things that way. And from where she's standing, the problem was always with Tamar intentionally bringing people backstage that were being rude to Kandi in the past.
I was having trouble in my marriage. I was having issues with my career. Things were like all over the place. You personally interjected yourself in the situation by talking crazy about me. But you just should have said nothing.
Okay.
Let's go on a train.
Okay. So anyway, what I was saying was, on the tour, I personally wasn't even thinking about all the stuff. I thought we was totally moved on for that.
From my perspective, it was totally, utterly disrespectful and unprofessional.
What?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Because you're not women.
On Big Brother, Kandi stepped up as the bigger person and squashed their beef. The two of them had a very brief kumbaya moment after the show. I mean, Kandi even invited Tamar to be on her dungeon tour.
I'm so happy that we had the opportunity to mend our relationship. For too long, we have just been a roller coaster of emotions between the two of us. A lot of people didn't know that. And I'm just glad we were able to fix it.
But that rekindled friendship between the two of them only lasted so long before it came crashing down. Remember when Kandi and TV producer Carlos King fell out? Well, she got word that Carlos was trying to release a documentary telling their story without permission. And Kandi was so mad that she came out to address the situation and called Carlos a thief. Did she mention Tamar's name? Nope. But did Tamar show up like Carlos rubbed a lamp and summoned her? She sure did.
Why I don't agree with her calling him a thief. You know what I mean? I think that's a little, off the deep end.
What would you do if somebody tried to do this to you and your sisters? They tried to tell your story without your permission.
Well, okay, so here is the thing. So my sister did our biopic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everybody else was involved, but I had nothing to do with my character, and I was in my feelings about that.
Okay.
But everybody else was involved, so that's a different kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you really don't want nobody telling your own story.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like there are all the time unauthorized, versions of people's lives, and this is just a part of being an entertainer.
Yeah.
Didn't Tamar just say that she was in her feelings when Tony didn't come to her about her portrayal in Tony's biopic? Yet she's shading Kandi for the way she feels? Girl, get you a grip. If Tamar had heard that Carlos, or anyone for that matter, was trying to tell a story about the Braxtons or about her life without their permission or involvement, she would have gotten off her high horse and chased them down and made their lives miserable until they apologized and dropped the project. So when it came to this thing between Carlos and Kandi, people didn't see it as her trying to defend her friend. It seemed like Tamar was looking for a reason to shade Kandi and finally got an opportunity to do so. Kandi didn't respond, and things went quiet between the two until Tamar went on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live. She claimed that she was threatened by a Real Housewife of Atlanta cast member and their husband almost put hands on her.
And it really did happen. I'm not lying. Like, I'm not looking for attention or drama or anything like that.
Right.
But that really did happen. It was not cute. No,
Was she a full housewife?
She's a full housewife.
Oh my God.
It's not Kandi.
Tamar didn't mention Kandi's name, though. But the day after appearing on Andy Cohen, Tamar couldn't keep it to herself any longer, and she made a post saying, "I left the situation alone, but the fact is Kandi and Todd wanted to fight me, period. There were witnesses, and Junior came to the next show to check Todd, and she nor he would address it, cause how do you defend that?"
Now, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not like these other reality people. Like, I'm a real bona fide 5-time Emmy-nominated journalist. Difference. So for me, I am not comfortable publicly saying or calling someone else a liar without knowing the legitimate facts. That's where I'm standing with that. I wasn't on no, you're not my friend, I don't wanna side with you. It wasn't nothing to being messy, but my responsibility for my job and my integrity just lied in that.
Kandi blew it off by denying stepping to Tamar with a threat. She said that Tamar was just making an issue out of nothing and her husband had never approached her in a threatening way.
The only thing I would say right now is, simply that that's not true. My husband never said nothing to her. He did not threaten her or none of that. So that's why I was like, I don't even want to address that on Amazon Live. She and I did have words, but he did. So that's why I was like, yeah. Some people like to twist things a little bit.
But Tamar immediately clapped back with, "I am the victim. When your man steps to a woman, sounds like an woman to me to see nothing wrong with that. I hope he's not beating you. I don't know about you, but that is a dangerous accusation to be spewing out about something like this and someone's marriage. But when it comes to beef, there's never really one side that's fully innocent. But you do have to look at the track record of both women. Most of what Kandi has said about Tamar has been in response to what she has said, and other times she just ignores it and continues her day. In addition, how many times have you heard Kandi beefing with someone? I mean, actually going back and forth multiple times. Kandi stays booked and busy, and most importantly, paid, baby. And according to people who have worked with her, she's generally a great person to be around in a work setting.
I'm going to tell y'all the same thing I said about Issa Rae and Amanda Seales. I've worked with both these people. One was insufferable, the other was not. Kandi, when she comes to work, let me tell you something when I did a la carte with Kandi would show up to the makeup chair with her base makeup already. Base, because she didn't want to give the makeup team too much work to do. This is Kandi Burruss. I'm sorry. I will always windmill for Kandi Burruss. When I saw her do that, I was like, oh, the humility. She's always been humble. But the humility. She comes in early. She don't got a big entourage. You don't got to babysit her, which I've seen with with Tamar. You don't have to babysit her. She comes in, she gives you the least work to do.
Now, our girl Tamar, on the other hand, girl, she stays healing and making changes in her life, bettering herself. But when are we ever going to finally see the healed, unproblematic version of Tamar? She's always beefing with someone and always tries to play it off like she's the victim. And that's the same thing that she's been doing with Kandi. And after she came out about Todd threatening her, she's always had something negative to say about Kandi. She's thrown shade at her singing, calling her a clown on fire. And when Kandi said that the booking fee for her group Escape is 3 times more than SWV's, Tamar blasted her saying, "Imagine having the biggest ego for the most non-singing person in the entire music industry."
Sweet calling me a Billy Goat saying I can't sing. But for me, I'm looking at it like, I mean, she's an amazing singer, but for you to sing so great and the only time people really want to talk about you is because you beefing with me, then that's a problem. Sis, I think you need to be working on promoting your music, not promoting your drama with me.
And now, an old video of Tamar calling Kandi's restaurant Old Lady Gang for having bad food is starting to make its rounds on the internet.
Nobody has yet to say how nasty Old Lady Gang is. And that is a known thing here in Atlanta.
Tamar did address it, saying that it was an old video, and when it was brought up to Kandi in an interview, she refused to address it, and she says she doesn't play with clowns.
You got all those restaurants, and you can, invite Tamar on to...
You will not be bringing her in my interview.
Nobody is saying, yo, where we going to go eat? Let's just go to Old Lady Gang. Who?
Can you believe that she's still on you?
I'm not playing games with clowns. Like, I'm not finna be in the circus with you, sweetheart. Like, we're not doing that ever again.
Love that.
And as expected, Tamar couldn't let it go. She said that her issue with Kandi is because she lied on her and she can't forgive that.
Really basically wouldn't be here if I wasn't lied on. And that's my thing. Like, I can deal with anything, but don't lie on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my thing.
Jessie Woo, who's worked with both women, actually admitted backstage at any show that Tamar was always bringing up Kandi's name, talking about how she was a mean person and that she doesn't like her. But when she's asked what the real issue is, she has nothing to say.
Point, even like hair and makeup, when she would bring up Kandi, hair and makeup, like, yeah, okay, yeah, we know she ain't a good person. We know, like, it's like, we know. But she could never give us why Kandi was not a good person. It gives Amanda Seales and Issa Rae. The way that super chat just clocked it gives Amanda Seales and Issa Rae. You know when you just don't like somebody, you've had awkward interactions with somebody, but it's just not enough for you to just say, you know what, I don't like that person. But you have to go on a media blitz to get everybody not to like that person. Tamar is to Kandi what Amanda Seales is to Issa Rae. Same thing.
And now people are starting to clock that she likes to provoke a reaction out of Kandi, and the reason she's so obsessed with her is because of how different their careers have gotten. Tamar won Celebrity Big Brother, but since leaving, Kandi has been that woman in Hollywood. Tamar believes Kandi can't sing and isn't as talented as her, but Kandi just so happens to be extremely successful in her bag. She's more paid than Tamar, and while she's walking on red carpets, Tamar has become a reality show star whose name is more known for the drama than her singing ability. I mean, no shade, okay? Now, Kandi can see that too, and all of the time her trying to resolve her issues with Tamar is in the past. And she isn't gonna stay cool with someone that consistently tries to antagonize and drag her name through the mud, especially now that she's getting traction in Hollywood as a producer following the release of the Broadway show Othello. And like I said, no one is fully innocent in a beef. But when it comes to this one, people are backing Kandi because Tamar is always making herself an issue. Tamar is on The Breakfast Club talking about Kandi. Meanwhile, Kandi just got off the red carpet of her Broadway show. Bees really be worried about the wrong ish and wonder why they lose at life. Kandi didn't do anything to Tamar. Tamar is a weird, insecure pygmy who constantly starts one-sided beefs with women who have more accomplishments and talents than she does. She needs to take that ish to a therapist, but she'll probably fall out with them too. But do y'all think that Tamar is right about Kandi? And is there just something we aren't seeing? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe. And stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.